Welcome, friends. Here we are, part 3, the final chapter of our little Labubu sculpt here in ZBrush on the iPad. So turn off symmetry and then start sculpting on the center of your character where that mirror line would be. That's where it's really obvious. And I'm exploring different brushes here. The build-up brush, one of my favorites. There's something about it, the way that it kind of builds on the underlying structure. I'm using the rake now, and that gives some of that individual fur type texture. So it's kind of a balance of, if you're into drawing, when you're drawing hair, you want to think about it in chunks or clumps. You don't want to think about it as each individual hair. Now, depending on the level of photoreal drawing you're doing, maybe towards the end, you'll do that to a certain extent, but there will be shadows and there will be highlights that will be devoid of that kind of detail. And so for stylized stuff like this, having the impression of fur texture, hair texture, that's all you need. So, show a little bit more detail in some areas and less in others, show some dimension where, fur is being clumped and you've got shadows being cast and different things. And again, should you decide to 3D print this or any of your models, having more pronounced detail is key. So at this point, you want to go into your menu there on the wheel, select M for material, and then go to the color and choose fill object. Now I'm racing through each subtool pretty quick, just filling it all with the same material. Now you can change this later. I'm using a white matte cap, just that way I can see as I'm painting the kind of the true colors, if you will, because if you're working on a colored matte cap and you paint on it, the colors are gonna kind of be multiplied on top of whatever that matte cap color is. So in this process of filling each subtool with the material makes it paintable. And you see those little paint brushes in the menu. That's what lets you know that there's paint data, if you will, on that specific subtool. So at this point, I was about to paint it and I realized, those teeth are a little too squishy. Let's Z remesh those. And then now I'm going through and sculpting them using the smooth brush and the move brush to kind of clean up the shape, and by Z remeshing them down to a pretty simple level, and then once you're done reshaping them, subdividing those up, that gives us much smoother looking geometry. So at this point, now I'm going to go ahead and start painting the teeth. As you can see, I was getting kind of some shadows going on there, and that was because I was actually sculpting as well. So you got to make sure to turn off the Z intensity and make sure your brush is set only to painting. So I'm just going through and eyeballing the different colors of the rainbow here and working my way down. Unfortunately, this guy only has 9 teeth, And so, or he does have 9 teeth, which makes it a little off balance or asymmetrical. So we gotta reuse some colors, but not all colors. So now just getting some of those other flat colors and just filling the whole thing like we did with the material. Instead, we make sure RGB is the only one selected, and then fill that whole material. So now I'm working on the fur, and the nice thing about painting is you can kind of paint in some shadow a little bit, which makes it come alive, get some extra dimension. Now I'm painting some highlights on the face. And this just helps to add to that kind of cartoony toy feel, because, you know, on some toys they'll do some of this painting as well. So you're not just relying on real world materials and simulations, you're kind of helping it along by adding certain color paints. And that's what I like about ZBrush and this process in general, painting 3D models, is that it's a quick way to explore different looks, because obviously, you know, in a lot of workflows, you know, when you're doing finished 3D character in Cinema 4D or Maya or Blender or whatever, you're creating special materials for each piece, and some of them are more reflective, and you know, depending on your lighting setup, you'll get different highlights and shadows in different areas, and you know, it looks great when it's all executed correctly, but it takes a lot of time. Whereas ZBrush, or I mean, you can do it in Blender and other tools as well, but if you can paint it in there first in 3D, you can kind of cheat the system a little bit, and maybe you end up keeping it like that, so that it, you know, you're still using some of that real world physics, PBR texture type stuff that reacts with light and different things the way it's supposed to, but you kind of help it along a little bit with the painting process. And then it also helps you look at things real quickly. You know, this, I'm playing with the rainbow texture in the eyes, and rather than creating this super complex parametric gradient in the eye, you can just paint it in here. And you know, obviously we're working from a real world object, this Labubu character, but still nice to see how it reacts to your sculpt or your environment. Now that's something that I didn't include in this little series, is kind of the final rendering touches, because I thought I was done at the end of this, but then decided to tweak it a little bit more after I'd recorded everything, and ended up with my final render. And if rendering and editing of materials and different things something you're interested in learning more about here in ZBrush, drop me a comment, let me know, because I could use your help, you know, knowing which tutorials y'all like best. So you can see I've put some little white specks in the eye. I've painted in the highlight, the white highlight that is painted on the actual Labubu characters, and that's essentially the process. So now that you know how to paint, and if you've been following along, great. Now go at it. Take the same process and finish out your Labubu character. But I don't want to waste any more of your time. This is where it's at. On the thumbnail, you can see the final character, and I might as well go ahead and drop that image right in here so we can look at it at this point. But this is all she wrote, friends. Thanks for joining me on this little journey to create our own 3D printable Labubu. And again, let me know what you want to see next. I'm going to take this further, show you the rendering process, take it through to 3D printing. I'm here to serve. So until next time, just keep on creating.